Upcoming next, I present to you Team Cyber Sheriffs. They will give a presentation on IMCS code proposal considering most technical features. We will watch a short introduction video from Team Cyber Sheriffs.
Because of the mass technical features, cybersecurity is very important.
The era of mass is coming. It's time to prepare the cybersecurity of mass.
Our IMCS code will be the answer.
For the cybersecurity of mass, we're Cyber Sheriffs.
Good morning, honorable judges, distinguished guests and delegates, and ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to present a proposal, the International Mass Cybersecurity Code, which is specifically address mass technical features. Our introduction will provide the background for our proposal. The problem analysis will describe the issues our proposal targets. The solution section will present our proposed solution, and the conclusion will summarize our proposal. First, we'd like to talk about the introduction. Let's start by providing some background on why we propose the IMCS code. As we know, the maritime industry has embraced digitalization, but it's also become a prime target for cyber attacks. For instance, the maritime sector has already experienced significant cyber attacks. In the context of IT system used for office work and email, most client ransomware attack caused 300 billion won in damage at 2017. On the other hand, regarding OT systems used for operating ships, GPS spoofing attack in the Black Sea impact over 20 ships by manipulating their GPS signals. Maritime cyber attacks pose a significant threat due to their potential for widespread and catastrophic damage in the marine industry. As the statistics on cyber attacks in the maritime industry, the average damage per cyber attack in the maritime sector tripled from 80.2 billion in 2022 to $55.5 million in 2023. However, in the current situation, there are no specific rules governing the cybersecurity of mass. For instance, the International Association of Classification Society, called IACS, has recently announced unified requirements for cybersecurity. However, there is no mention of cybersecurity regulations for mass. In existing conventions, regulations related to your cybersecurity are either absent or exist only at the recommended level. Let's consider IMO's strategic plan for mass. In 2019, the Maritime Safety Committee initiated the development of temporary guidelines for mass. In 2022, MSC began developing the mass code, which is set to become mandatory in 2025. In 2022, the MAST Joint Working Group, called JWG, held discussions on common issues by each committee. However, there has been no movement to establish a separate code for mass cybersecurity. Referring to the 107th session of the MSC, which included the latest discussion on the mass code, the working group will address cybersecurity in the following direction. Cybersecurity should be considered in the context of communication and connectivity between the mass and remote operation center. In Part 3.9 of the mass code, Safety, there is no reference to cybersecurity.
Yes. From this point forward, I will proceed with the problem analysis. Considering the information presented before, it is evident that the mass code currently under development is insufficient to prevent the new types of cyber attacks targeting mass. The critical difference between mass and conventional ship is on decision making. On conventional ship, seafarers monitor sensor data and use their judgment. In mass, artificial intelligence collects and analyzes sensor data to make critical judgments. In addition, mass enables connectivity not only the IT system and OT system, but also between the remote operation center and mass. With the emergence of mass, a new category of cyber attack targeting mass has come to the forefront. The first of this cyber attack is the sensor data attack. In this type of attack, hackers exploit vulnerabilities of data transmission protocol and intercept or contaminate the data during the data transmission process. The second new type of cyber attack is the ship dataset attack. This attack is a cyber attack that targets a dataset which is the base of artificial intelligence deep learning. If a hacker contaminates the dataset, which is the base of artificial intelligence deep learning, through a poisoning attack, the accuracy of the judgment transmitted to the navigation system by AI decrease. It can potentially lead to incorrect action. As an example of poisoning attack, by adding just 0.7% of noise to an image, which is used for AI deep learning, AI can misclassify the image of ship. The third new type of cyber attack is a communication protocol attack. This attack is a type of attack which hackers exploit vulnerabilities in the data transmission protocol. It involves contaminating data by exploring vulnerabilities in the transmission protocol during the data transmission process. The last new type of cyber attack is the gain access through remote operation center. Mass is characterized by its connection to remote operate through remote operation center. This connectivity allows hackers to infiltrate the internal network of the remote operation center through hacking and gain access to the control system of mass. From now on, I will present the solution for the issue we have raised. Our team proposed the IMCS code to solve the issues we have previously raised. The IMCS code is an international code for cybersecurity of mass for facilities and remote operation center. As you know, IMO addresses emerging issues in the maritime industry proactively by releasing its strategic direction every 6 years. The development of IMCS code falls under strategic direction 2. The development of IMCS code specifically falls under strategic direction 2.23, focusing on the development of core-based instrument for maritime autonomous surface ship, which is core MAS. The IMCS code is mandatory for degree 3 and 4 level MAS, where those seafarers are on board, and it is recommended for degree 1 and 2 level MAS, which have seafarers on board. The IMCS code we propose is based on the core-based standard called GBS and consists of 4 sections. Each section covers cyber resilience, integrity and reliability of data, stability, and access control. GBS, core-based standards, are high-level standards achieved through regulation that include course, functional requirement, and conformity verification. In this proposal, we will use the GBS approach. We will establish one goal for each section and define the necessary functional requirement to achieve those goals.
The first section focuses on cyber resilience, which means maintaining intended outcomes despite cyber attacks. The goal of this section is to ensure cyber resilience from cyber attacks. This is achieved by the means of three functional requirements. First, the development of procedures for cybersecurity as an assessment of the mass. Second, the establishment of a security organization considering the operation features of mass. Third, the development of procedures for remote control changeover in the event of cybersecurity incidents are needed. The guidelines on maritime cyber risk management from IMO in June 2022 should serve as the foundation for mandatory cyber risk assessments. In the current security organization based on the ISPS code, a ship security officer called SSO is required. However, in the case of Mass Degree 3 and 4, where no seafarers are on board, SSO is no longer necessary. Instead, there is a need for RCSO, which means a Remote Control Center security officer, to be responsible for the security of Remote Control Center. In the current security organization under the ISPS code, external security experts have been excluded for security concerns. However, there are situations that seafarers and maritime industry workers lack an understanding of cybersecurity. So it's crucial to require the inclusion of external cybersecurity experts in the MAS security organization. MAS relies on AI to perform situation awareness based on data from AIS, which means Automatic Identification System, radars, and various sensors like camera and audio. Considering the technical feature of MAS, the goal of Section 2 is to ensure the integrity and reliability of data, enabling safe navigation for MAS. To achieve this goal, MAS must have mechanisms to prevent tampering. Tampering means the modification of data without permission. Additionally, MAS should employ encryption protocols and provide verification function for the data of sensor. The data transmission protocols in conventional ships like CAN bus and MEA protocol have given little importance to security. In this context, it is important to mandate data transmission security protocols. While SOLAS mandates AIS installation, current AI standards did not consider cybersecurity. Therefore, it's crucial to make it mandatory to use AI standards that addresses cybersecurity. The goal of third section is to ensure the stability of autonomous navigation systems based on AI. To achieve this goal, AI must be trained using reliable training data based on AI. Furthermore, security systems should be in place to prevent external data leakage using AI deep learning. Also, data verification procedures should be implemented to ensure the use of reliable training data. The goal of first section is to prevent cybersecurity breaches through network access. To achieve this goal, user ID and multi-factor verification must be performed during remote access. Blocking unauthorized wireless network connections is crucial. Moreover, unnecessary internal network exposure to the external network. For access control, several security systems must be installed at each network layer.
Finally, we will provide a summary of our proposal. MAS exhibits significant differences from conventional ships in terms of operation and technology. The IMCS code was developed with this distinction in mind. Consequently, introducing the IMCS code addresses the most pressing challenge for MAS, cybersecurity. To implement our proposals, IMO establishes a working group and presents our proposal at the meeting. The working group on IMCS code outlines a topic for discussions during the plenary session by specifying the terms of reference called TOR. With the MAS code in development, we agree that the IMCS code should not repeat regulations of the MAS code. Therefore, through discussions within the working group, we should establish the format for dealing with our proposals. The first is to include the IMCS code in the MAS code. The second is to present cybersecurity guidelines as resolutions. The last approach is to develop the IMCS code as a comprehensive and unified cybersecurity for MAS. A single cyber attack on MAS can have irreversible consequences. Our proposal is a proactive solution to anticipate cybersecurity breaches. The era of mass is coming. It's time to prepare. The reference we considered is as follows. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Team Cyber Sheriffs, for your impressive presentation. And next there will be a Q&A session. So I'd like to invite judges for questions. Okay, Dr. Park.
Yes, thank you for your excellent presentation. And so I agree to your proposal. Cybersecurity should be considered in the context of communication and connectivity and maritime autonomous surface ship and the remote operation center. I agree. However, now is the mass code is the making at the IMO meeting. And so it is, I think is, do you believe it is possible to make another code? Now is a mass code also as of a part security, cyber security matter is going on. What do you think about it?
Thank you for thoughtful question. I agree that the mass code current under development can include the contents of cyber security to prevent cyber attacks targeting mass, but I want to emphasize the fact that the content in our presentation is applied to any convention or mass code. No matter what the format it is, we should emphasize that the content of our presentation should be addressed in IMO. We don't stick to make the development of IMCS code. The format is, I think, it's a secondary problem. The content is more important.
I understand to the explanations. However, I think is the mass code already on the basis of goal-based standard, and so already your mention at the according to your presentation is almost considering about the concept and your idea. Already there are many, the part 3 of mass code is considered is 16 items. The number 1 is navigation and remote operation and cybersecurity. Even the final is emergency response. And so I would like to listen from your comment and your idea. If there are the big extent of cybersecurity matters between the remote operation center and the master ship, how to respond to the emergency, how to respond to the cybersecurity extent. What do you think about it?
Thank you for thoughtful question. You asked me about the procedure, the remote operation center, or the cyber attack on mass. I think it is the human elements of cybersecurity. As you know, you rule at the remote operation center, which means remote operator is emerging in the mass. I think remote operator have a practice to address cyber attacks, and if a cyber attacks on mass, if there is a cyber attack on mass, I think the remote changeover procedure for remote operation will be will the word is end of my tongue. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
sorry.
I got it, yeah.
Can I say one more
Yeah.
back to the first question?
Yeah.
It's like, thank you for a thoughtful question. And as you were, introducing a new code can potentially act as an additional burden of regulation on the maritime industry. For example, establishing a new code may require seafarers to create new documenting and increasing their work. Therefore, the introduction of the IMCS code as new code needs to be carefully considered, taking into account various factors. And also, there has been no separate code specifically for cybersecurity. So we think IMCS code is really important, and we think that it can be into the MOS code, but we think the creating of the IMCS code is really important.
Yeah, I agree to the
Yeah.
International Maritime Cybersecurity Core is very important. However, is how to get some parallel to the regulating to the IMO meeting is between the IMCS code and the MAS code. And so maybe I think it's a very good response to my question. And then finally, I a little bit comment to the presentation. And so the MAS code already is already we the IMO got it to the ISM code and the ISPS code, and so to the kind of code level, and then another level is circulation level, circular letter, and the more the less level, the even to the code is not. And so the low level is technical guideline is very appropriate, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your comments and question. And are there any questions from judges? Okay, what about the audience? Okay, lifeguard, please.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. And as long as I've understood, I understand that your team's solutions were based on adding extra layers of security within the existing system. So I understood that you guys were not just having a fundamental change on the system, but utilizing the existing MOS system and adding extra layers of security. But what I'm concerned about is that even if there is an extra layer of security, the hackers are eventually going to get it through. So without changing the whole system or having a systematic or fundamental change, I'm afraid that the same problem is in the status quo is going to be repetitive. So how do you think about this problem?
Thank you for the question. Please give me a second to prepare to answer.
Okay, I think they need a moment.
I will answer the question. In our presentation, we focus on the functional elements of MOS. As your question, you mean the fundamental element of MOS is more important? Is that right?
What I meant was that even if you add extra layers of security to the existing MOS system, the extra layers are also going to get exposed by the hacker groups, and then the same problem is going to repeat again and again. So I thought there should be a fundamental or a structural change in the whole system of MOS. So, yeah.
The functional elements of MOS, we talk in our presentation. I think functional element of MOS is the foundational element, and as you know, the GBA is goal-based standard. When when the ship is constructing, it is varied by classification. So, as you know, if our presentation content is based on GBS, the functional element of mass is verified when shipbuilding survey. So I think it is a fundamental approach to solve the cybersecurity problem of mass. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's time to end this Q&A session, and cybersecurity is a really important issue, so I hope to continue to discuss in the other places. Thank you. Thank you very much, Team Cyber Sheriffs. Everyone, please give them a big round of applause.